Hey, what's going on, guys? Caucasian Mark here, whitest dude on the internet. Today we're going to be doing stuff with the box model. Box models, it's like a concept we could do. It's not something that's super technical. It's just kind of an order of how things work, right? So we've already been working with margins, borders, paddings, and the initial content itself. So let's go into here and let's just delete this div, that stuff there. Let's go in here, delete it out of our index HTML file, come back down into here and refresh this. So let's look at the box model for the H1 tag, because I lost my jar of pig's feet. Just keep it right there. So when we look at the box model, we have to look at it's kind of like those Russian wood dolls where there's like one inside of another, inside of another, inside of another. And the box model is pretty much how these all lay on top of each other. So on the outermost here, you will have a margin, right? So if we do a margin of 10 pixels, 10 pixels, 10 pixels, 10 pixels, and this is the top right, bottom left. Think of trouble for shorthand. We could come down in here, or we could come up here, save it, come down here and refresh it. And everything has 10 pixels around, it's kind of squished up, whatever. And that is the outermost layer of the box model. The next one is the border, which is this thing right here, right? So we have, you can think of the margin is the non-visible space on the outside dictating where a particular element's going to show up. As we get closer to the element, or the content, whatever you want to think of it as, or whatever terminology you want to use, we then hit the border, right? We have the border here. So it goes margin, border, and then we have the padding. Good stuff. So we're going to use the same, top right, bottom left. We'll do 10 pixels. Let's do 0 pixels for the left and the right. Add the X there, 10 pixels, 0 pixels. Come down here, refresh. We can see that we have affected the content down in here, right? And so we have now are like one step away from actually affecting the content itself. And well, how the next point you affect the specific content is when you're actually manipulating the H1 tag contents itself. So if you do something like, font weight lighter, right? We come in here, refresh, now it's lighter. And what we did is we worked from the outside, the furthest point away from the content with the margin, came to the border, which is the next layer, getting you closer, right? Then we went to the padding, which is in between the content and the border, and then you actually go to the content itself. This is important to know when you're trying to size things, move it around, or just in general how to maneuver with the CSS, because you may be wanting to add more padding when really you need to do less or more with a margin. Border, depending on whether the hell or not you want to use that or not, it may affect it. And also the content in and of itself, if you have like large, like 6 billion point font in there, that's really also going to affect the margin and the padding, because it has to contain a much larger type of data in there as well, or content information. So those are all things to keep in mind. So you have a nicer looking web page, because they all kind of, when you tweak one, you may have to tweak another, and it all comes down to how close is the particular style you're working with. What is this relation to the content, and is it going to change, or is the content going to change? Because that may shove everything else on the outside outwards. So that's the CSS box model concept. It's about as good as I could do with it right here. You could look it up online, continue your studies there. It's just an important concept to know and think on when you're going forward and creating sexy, beautiful websites about your dog and how he or she likes to sniff other dogs' butts. So this has been Caucasian Mark. Like, share, subscribe, contribute. all the other jazz. And I'll see you in the next rockin' video. Give me 100 thumbs ups.